Thanks for having me.
I've been fascinated with you since I've started going to Tony Robbins seminars 3 years ago. Maybe it was a little more than 3 years ago now. And I've just been saying since I started this radio show, I'm like, I need to talk to him because I love talking to people who defy the odds. And I love talking to people who understand, and obviously you understand more than any of us, that the mind is so much more powerful than we use it for. It has so much more to give, and we don't access it all. And
Exactly.
and it's fascinating to me, and I know there's so many things I want to talk about, but I guess for those who don't know you, let's explain to them who you are and where your journey started with all of this. Because you're not just somebody you're not doing tricks. It's not like, hey, look at me, I can sit in ice for an hour. It's so much deeper than that.
Yes, actually, it's 21 records? No, 26.
It's 26. Did I say 21?
It's growing all the
It
time.
said
you know?
21 on the website. That's why. You got to update that, Wim.
Yeah.
This
it's
is
the
one
web-
time I'm not going to be mad we didn't have the research because you move so fast.
It
we
is
probably
so.
can't keep up with you.
And yes, I'm really moving fast. Why? I've been in nature so long and so many more challenges I took on. There is more than meets the eye, and that was my beginning psych. Was on a soul search.
But you
And
were only 17. How are you soul
Yes.
searching at 17? Because I've watched a lot of interviews with you
Yeah.
and I've done my research. And when you said you were soul searching at 17, I'm like, most people are drinking and getting wasted and,
Yes,
you know,
exactly. So I wasn't.
clearly.
I wasn't, and I took it on. A lot of esoteric disciplines and traditions, cultures, religions, languages, things like that. Practices like yoga, kung fu, karate, Buddhism, Sufism, or all kinds of things. But nothing was able to connect me with the depth of myself like the cold was. I've just felt this attraction, went in, and since then I'm hooked, which is 41 years ago. 17 I was.
Mm-hmm.
And I found out by intuition, instinct, this is it. And it's not in the books. Whatever it is, it makes me feel wonderful, great, powerful from within. So wherever you feel that, you go back,
Mm-hmm.
no matter what. So I took on a regular practice every winter. In the Dutch winters are quite cold and it's freezing, and the water is conducting in a lot of cold if you go in. So you got to do something. There I learned to become aware that with deeper breathing, you're able to withstand a cold impact. That's power on your body, aggressive energy, like ice cold,
Mm-hmm.
makes you, there. I learned to control that. And with that, I learned to control deeper physiology. And then I became aware that I was able to sit all night long in freezing temperatures in shorts outside. What do you think then at that moment you feel? It's tremendous from the inside, being able to withstand the impact which is going on your nervous system, on your vascular system, on your mind, and you are able to counteract with your mind suddenly something we did not learn in books, in the school. We learned to run in a systemized civilization called we can shoot people to the moon, yet we don't. We know little of our own deep physiology.
Mm-hmm.
And now it seems like 4 years ago, I did studies with the university showing people within a couple of days being able to tap into this deeper physiology. Because I know the way it works now from nature, going through laboratory settings and make people within 4 days able to tap into the autonomic nervous system, something what was in medical history known as at will. We cannot tap into that.
Yeah.
Now, all the persons, 12 of them, the 100% score were into the autonomic nervous system, the innate immune system, and the endocrine system, with the hormonal
You're talking about the
systems.
experiment that they did on you, right?
Yes.
So let me explain to people really quickly. So basically, and I'm going to see if I found. Okay, so you taught yourself how to control your heart rate, your breathing, and your blood circulation. These functions are all regulated by the autonomic nervous system. And autonomic must, I mean, I don't know what it means officially, but it must mean it works on its own
Yes.
automatically, right? So you can't interfere with it. So science tells us that the autonomic nervous system can't be influenced by your own will, but yet WIM manages to do this by steering the hypothalamus, which is the area of the brain that controls body temperature. So you have figured out how to control something that no one has ever thought was controllable. And then also there was a study that they did for you. I think it was the University of Holland.
Yes.
Okay, so they injected him with an endotoxin to prove that he can auto-regulate his immune system. Is the autonomic system part of the immune system?
Yes.
Okay.
The innate immune system is part of the autonomic nervous system, together with the endocrine, the hormonal system. Yes.
Okay, so they injected him with an endotoxin, which you imagine is a toxin, and he also taught 12 people his method. So there was a control group of 12 people, and then there was WIM's group of 12 people. And the control group had 12 people. They all got sick, and WIM and his 12 people did not get sick. Correct?
Exactly.
Okay. So first of all, you are unique, obviously, and you figured something out that not a lot of people have figured out. How did you convince 12 people to allow themselves? I understand why you would be able to take on that risk. How did you convince 12 other people to pop this toxin into their body and use your method?
I made him able, without prior experience in the cold, to go on day 4 by sense, by feeling this power. Making them able to go in shorts on a mountain, and on the top of the mountain, 5 hours we were exposed to the cold. On the top of the mountain
How
was
cold?
minus 27 degrees. And it went up from minus 10 to minus 17, minus 20.
Is that
minus
Celsius or Fahrenheit?
Celsius.
So very cold.
It's very cold. It's very cold. It's where people normally are not able to survive.
And
They
no one
lose
got
control.
frostbite, nothing?
Nothing. And then on top of it, on top of the summit, we danced the Harlem Shake.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, we did. I got this on the on YouTube and everything. It's really
love
funny.
it.
But the thing is, we celebrated the power, just lustful, the power of life itself. And then I knew when I saw them and we danced together afterwards, these people are going to fend off the bacteria injected. The endotoxin is a bacteria, E. coli bacteria, which normally causes fever, uncontrolled shivering, all over agony, headaches, and all that. No, not nice. But I knew then, I felt instinctively, they are going to do the same I showed in university settings after administering the endotoxin. They will be able to do it. They got connection with their deeper physiology, the way nature meant it to be. So I'm the Iceman, but I became a wise man. And how? By taking the knowledge which is in nature. We have a lot of problems with all kinds of diseases because we have no control over our deeper physiology anymore. That's why we got these hospitals and pharmaceuticals and all that, and a whole lot of problems on depression, cancer, on autoimmune diseases, etc. Something needs to be done. And I told them on the way to the mountain, I told them, listen guys, about mindset, we are going to show the world how to win that war of most casualties in history, the war on the bacteria, the virus, and the bacille. And 4 days later, they were there. I knew it. And 4 days later, in the hospital, They showed 100% control within a quarter of an hour over this bacteria injected.
When they injected the bacteria, was their main focus as it was injected and for that time to breathe the way you taught them?
Yes, breathing plus focus.
Okay. And
Now,
what's the focus on?
I'm going to just focus is doing your best. Just doing your best. Now, 2 months ago, I was here in America, in the US, to do another, to show you what the power of the mind means. It's not just focus and do something with your mind and be motivated. No, these are neurochemicals. And these neurochemicals, I will show you, being in a brain scan, I showed just recently, being in having a vest on with tubes for ice water to go in. So my skin temperature is really exposed to ice water temperatures. And I, just by thinking, using steering and directing neurochemicals, making my body impervious to the ice water injected or poured in, thus the temperature, skin temperature remained the same. First, the first 2 scans, I did nothing, and it went plump, like 25 degrees. And then I said, now I'm going to do something. And then 4 times, 7.5 minutes, exposure of ice water on the skin, and showing no degrees of temperatures.
So
anymore.
the initial, you let it plummet so that you could show that your body isn't some...
Yes.
It's not the body, that's
Yes.
regulating this, it's your mind.
Exactly. Now, the new study is going to be the mind, not the body. This is the study I'm into. And it showed in the brain what was happening. In the brain, where normally we have no control over the hormonal system. I was mentioning that before, the autonomic nervous system. Part of that, what is outside of our world working, is the hormonal system. The endocrine system, they call it, is a fancy name for the same thing. Another thing is the innate immune system. So those are detecting cells within us. They have to fend off the cells, bacteria, bacillus, and vaccine. What do I say? Virus. They have a specific
The bad
answer.
stuff.
The bad stuff. And we had no control because it's about the T cells and the B cells. Normally it takes 5 to 7 days when you got a flu for them to work. We make them work within a quarter of an hour through this. So
And it's just breathing?
breathing and believing.
Yes.
But believing now is no longer just something abstract. It is neurochemical being able within the brain while ice water is poured, for example. Ice water is like danger for the functionality of the body. Could be heat as well, could be stress, could be a dangerous situation. We have this control within the power of the mind to be within the mind, while the mind and the body are working together like a witness. We program it to be so. So then it's working. And I was just looking while the cold was coming on to me. I was looking to the cold. It was not cold at all. I programmed it before. I wanted it to make the difference. I did not even know what to do there. But then, I do what I always do when I do these records. At the day when I'm going to execute it, I'm peaceful. I'm done. I did all my best, so let it go now.
Yeah.
I'm not going to interfere. And this mechanism showed that that I was producing by the fancy names, insula and prefrontal cortex together with the brainstem. I'm into the periaqueductal gray hemisphere, which normally is autonomic. You cannot influence. Now I'm fully in it, and I'm producing endorphins, opioids, cannabinoids, serotonins, etc., while ice water is coming in. So good feel hormones while ice water is coming in, and get in the insula, which is the detector of sympathetic or parasympathetic nervous system activity, which is action, full action, because ice is coming in. No, I got the parasympathetic nervous system, peace, control, witnessing, what's happening? Well, full adrenaline is going on to have the functionality of the body maintained. And then they told me, the professors over there, this is going to change mental health care. And where did I find this? Knowledge, wisdom, I call it. It's not mine. It's from nature. I just pass it on. And now I'm here with you guys, and I think it's very important because I use any window to get to people. Listen, we got all the tools, the way nature meant it to be, to become happy, strong, and healthy. Because happiness is, those are hormones. We can steer them, we can direct them, even in the most difficult of situations. We can become strong because we control stress hormone, adrenaline, epinephrine, noradrenaline. We can control cortisol, we can control it, which is a big thing in our society, which is exerting so much neurologically of our brain and execute a lot of cortisol going on without
cortisol is just stress.
Yeah, cortisol is stress, and these are neurochemicals, and we had no control. And now we have control. We showed people lying in bed, being a little bit high of breathing exercises, and then specifically going into it, producing more adrenaline than somebody going into its first bungee jump.
Wow.
You see what I mean? That's controlled stress hormone. That's a way we could take the stress upon us, like witnessing. And easy. Are you going to jump? Yes or no? It's okay. Just want to fly. You see? And then health, that's the control over the immune system. We had no control over the innate immune system, which was part of the autonomic nervous system again. And now it shows that within a quarter of an hour, we are able to fend off the bacteria's reaction on the immune system, which is then normally creating fever and headaches and agony, inflammation. So what it shows that within a quarter of an hour, the inflammatory markers go down.
Wow.
And that's what we have
inflammation
found.
is the root of all disease.
There you got it. I don't know what is your first name again?
Maria.
Maria, what a name. So that's where we are.
Yeah.
We bring love to the world. For every mother should be able to guarantee love to his son and daughter, a child, and how? By showing that we are non-speculatively able to activate that what causes health, which is the control over the immune system, strength, which is controlled stress hormone in the body, and happiness, which is endorphins and all those hormones, good feel hormones. We should bring that into schooling, bring that confidence and
Absolutely.
belief to every mother in the world.
You know, it reminds me of my favorite movie in the world is The Wizard of Oz. And the favorite moment of that movie is when the good witch looks at her and says, you had the power all along to click your heels and you could go home.
Yes.
Like you've had the power all along. And we have the power all along. However, what we've learned in Western culture is that we give that power over to doctors, to pills, and to all of these things. Come fix my problem rather than looking within.
Yes.
And rather than looking for another way.
You see, and this is, it's not me saying this anymore. We have found a way to get into the autonomic nervous system and to tackle pain, either pain mechanisms, but it's also chemistry. And we are now able to, after the new completed study, showing people who doing these techniques are able to receive charges of electricity on their bodies through sensors, like to the utmost. And there are so many people unnecessarily suffering from chronic pains. And if they just click their heels, then it could be solved. I say yes. I say yes to a whole lot more, but we have to go past that what created disbelief. That what created a way of looking outside. Go back, have confidence and belief back inside again. Now, backed up with science, validated. So there is no speculation about it. And how, that's what I want more studies. I'm into neuroscience. I'm into inflammation, immunity, and all these studies. But I want 100 studies to show that nature has the answer. It's not us.
Well,
We should.
and our minds. Like I look at my dad, he's been type 1 diabetic for over 40, maybe 45 years now. And his mantra in his whole life was, I'm not sick. I don't have anything. And he has no side effects from a disease that ravages people's limbs and takes them. They get all kinds of blindness, amputations, nerve damage. He doesn't have anything because he doesn't believe he's sick.
You hit him right on.
He's my Iceman.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
he's been my role model for all of this.
He must be a nice man too.
He is. He's a wonderful man.
Nice man, wise man, intuitively taking the right road.
Yeah.
So he suffered from a modern disease, like autoimmune diseases, defect somewhere, and we don't know how to go in. He uses the power of it. He should do this breathing.
I want him to. My dad would love this. You know, the other thing I'm thinking of as I'm hearing you talk is cryotherapy. So when cryotherapy, there was a German couple that came to Los Angeles and they introduced cryotherapy here. And I was dancing and had shattered my feet. And I went and tried it, and it was miraculous because it took all the inflammation down in the body. Yeah. So I could keep dancing on broken feet. Rather than having to take painkillers and all of these things, I would go cryotherapy, freeze my body, negative 250 degrees, and it would take the inflammation down, and I would do it every day so that I could keep staying in the competition. Wow. So the cold isn't just a gimmick. And it wasn't even just a way to teach you how to control your autonomic nervous system. The cold is medicinal.
Yes, it is. Absolutely. It activates, trains, stimulates the vascular system, and which is killer number one in the US, cardiovascular system. Diseases related. And that's because it has millions of little primitive muscles and reflexes in the capillaries. It's like 80,000 miles of blood vessels every person has. But because we wear clothes, there's no stimulation going on. Thus, they don't work as good.
I didn't know that.
Yes. So I always say a cold shower a day keeps the doctor away. You know, just keep it simple.
Mine's as hot as possible. Shit.
Yeah. You know what? If you do that, then within a week you see a big difference in taking the same cold shower. Why? Because you uptoned the tonus of these primitive muscles and reflexes all over these 80,000 miles. Another thing is, when they are going to help because the condition is better of these muscles, it's like training a muscle. Then suddenly you are able to weigh more, or the blood flow is just simply going better. Mm-hmm. It's being helped. Heart rate is going drastically down. So a lot less stress already for the body.
Just with a cold shower.
Just a cold shower. And the immune cells, 7 billion cells we have, and a lot of immune cells, they are better fed with oxygen, nutrients, vitamins, or minerals. Cold shower day takes the doctor away.
Wow.
And trains the mind. When you go and say, now I'm going to take a cold shower, then you train your mind, and what happens? The brain-body connection with this 80,000 miles is going to uptone the vascular system, and then the body core temperature, which needs to remain at a certain good temperature, blood temperature, 37 degrees in Celsius. I don't know.
98.6.
Exactly. And it remains over there because it closes. And you did it with your mind. And once you learn to do that consciously, you you are going to begin to become aware that you are able to control much more systems.
The other thing I'm thinking about is with your breathing technique. It's like, I think that the only times we breathe in life are when we're doing an activity. If we're running, if we're at the gym, if we're playing football, if we're dancing. Otherwise, we don't really breathe as a public, as a general public. We don't breathe unless we're doing yoga, unless we're doing something that's making us breathe. And I think that's why the stress is all over the place, because we're not breathing. And that's probably why this is so medicinal.
Yes.
Right? Like when you breathe, if you take a deep breath, I was learning this weekend, your lungs push down and massage your organs, and it's like a healing thing.
Yes, it all is there. Because of our lifestyle, we are non-stimulative toward our own body and mind. Thus, it becomes weaker, and the condition is less, and that's stress. That causes stress. And most of the people live most of the day in stress, most in a condition where they should not be in.
And that's why we get sick.
And that's why we get sick. And sickness is a signal. It should not be suppressed, the signal. And that's what we do with medicines and pills. We should not, no, we should change our lifestyle.
Yes.
And become more aware of this brain-body connection. And then being able to maintain health, happiness, and strength.
So true. When we come back, guys, we're going to take a short break. When we come back, I want to talk to you about not only just doing it for yourself, is it possible to use your mind to heal other people? Because I think I know the answer to that, but I want to know what you think. Guys, we'll be right back with Wim Hof, a.k.a. the Iceman.
This is Conversations with Maria Menounos.
Guys, we are back with Wim Hof, a.k.a. the Iceman. I'm looking at the clock, 16 minutes, and I want to cry because I want to talk to you for 50 more hours. But we did break with the notion of, or the question of, can you also use this powerful mind to help heal others? Like, tell me what you think about that.
Oh, yes, yes.
And then I can...
Many miracles I've witnessed now. And the miracles is simply bring people back to their own deeper awareness of their own physiology. And physiology means our brains, that's a hump of meat. But the mind, which is unseen, is able to go within and activate, awaken the healing power, as in plasticity in the body, as in neuroplasticity in the brain. And I see it so many times. And you have to go back actually to a mother who was dealing with a little kid, a baby who was sick. She begins to care for the baby. So her attention is there.
Mm-hmm.
That's our focus. That's our belief, and that's our being, and that's our love. And most of the times we are able to heal the baby with that power. But because we got so complicated in our behavior and everything going on, we have to distinct the mind more to show that that it is not mingling with everything. No, go back and learn to activate and become conscious of it. And like Archeus of Paracelsus, the doctor is really within. And these are simply tools within us which we have and need to ignite at the moment when we become sick. When we become sick, we get signaled, and it says, it cries out loud, "Get back! Come to me! I need you!" That's what it says. Any animal in the wild goes and retrieves itself. What we do, we keep on thinking, and we have to do this and that. Thus, neurologically, we are not connecting with what is going on, and we lose. We don't use it, we lose it. So I'm here to tell, through studies, that we are able to heal ourselves, to activate the neuroplasticity in the brain, in order for us not needing to open up the brain to repair the damage or anywhere else in the body. And so I say, yes, if you learn to do it on your own, which I did, then you will automatically have the ability to bring this power of the mind over to others.
If you had, hypothetical situation, if you had cancer right now, if you had a brain tumor, how would you handle it?
Yes. I would become... with the knowledge of today, you can almost visualize what cancer is. And it needs an acidic environment. It's because we do not breathe well, deep enough, shallow, and we exert with all the energy, the metabolism in the cell, becoming cancerous because there is no oxygen anymore, there is no energy anymore, and then it becomes, how do you say, anaerobic.
Yes.
It becomes anaerobic. And once it becomes anaerobic, it becomes independent. And it's actually a natural mechanism. So the way I treat it, I go to the back to the core and become completely, say, in this, I connect with what is acidic. And I've shown that we are able to go past firewalls in our lymphatic system, which is everywhere, but we could not get into it. And that what becomes acidic there, which is the cause of it all, we are able now, and we showed it in a last study, to invigorate it with oxygen and to make the mitochondrial oxygen tension go up, thus acidity is gone. And if you make the acidity go away, then you break the chain for the cancer cell to be fed. It's logical. And then we got our intention. And with the intention, we are able to program the genes. And with the genes in the immune cells, we are able to go within the marrow, which we have shown within a quarter of an hour, the specific immune system going directly to the bacteria, not creating fever all over. No, just very specifically go to the cell and cause apoptosis, which is cell death. And that's what the cancer needs, a very precise answer of the specific immune system. And we are able, with our mind, once it is exercised, to connect with the deeper layers of this specific immune system, the T cells and the B cells, and thus
Get them to work.
kill them. Give them the information and program them to do so. But now, this is all hypothetically, but I saw a lot of miracles already. But it's only really true when we get through science. Now, who is interested to take it on with me in the scientific world? Who is listening right now? Because I'm sure this works. I saw it many times, but we in the West, we need science to back it up.
So that it can go to the masses.
It doesn't make money. It doesn't make money. It brings health. And what do we want? That's my question back to the listeners. Do we really want health, etc.? So I'm challenging.
Why don't you do a GoFundMe page to get people, because the entire world would get behind this, because pharmaceutical companies never will, and anybody who's really greedy won't, because they want to create their thing, to make money off of. But if you did a GoFundMe page, we could advertise it here. Everybody would get behind it to create the money to
I just
do
say,
the study.
Help me, because 4 years ago, I thought I showed the world something which was never shown in medical history. We changed the books in the US in biology and for the new physicians, full chapter about the endocrine system, the autonomic nervous system, and the innate immune system. And now it's becoming mainstream knowledge. You got to learn it, But I want to go on, show more that we are able to do so much more than we think or being taught. Is use the mind power, the power of the mind, to learn to become happy, strong, and healthy, completely in balance, and learn about spirituality. Like every moment should be spiritual. Like it's great to be alive. But this is the most beautiful place of the whole universe. I know astronauts. They told me, yeah. Then finally I got shut up. I'm a professor, I'm a doctor, I'm this, I'm that, and then I'm an astronaut. I'm up in space. I look around. It's lifeless. It's cold. It's nothing. I look down. Wow! And that's the Earth, and that's where we live. But are we aware of that fact? Are we being taught that this is the most beautiful place? That we should be one with the essential of life, like a little kid, not arithmetic only. No, happiness, strength, and health should be the new subjects in the new schools for every child to learn, and every child is able to adopt this. It's not difficult, and then never lose track of the core to be able to have an answer when things like cancer, depression, and autoimmune diseases, and mood disorders are happening. You got me? That's why. So I challenge anybody, please help me show it scientifically, because we can believe, but the mainstream is in disbelief that it is impossible. We are being taught it's impossible. We are being taught it's normal to have hospitals, pharmacies, and all that. I say it's sick. And we are maintaining it because it has maybe a lot to do with one mammalian thing. I want power and money and make this, and that's why everybody is blind about it and being manipulated or something. But I'm here. Listen, it's not mine. It's nature, and nature has the answer of so much. But we need to validate it through science. And I'm here to already shown things in medical history were not able for a human to do. And now I'm showing it in the neuroscience in the brain. But it's not me. It's nature calling upon us. We messed up with the nature, and now nature is showing us once again. Live in harmony with the nature. Be stimulated by the nature. And you become happy. Like the Garden of Eden, it's right over here. Yes.
Yeah.
So there we are.
The other way is all we know. So you're saying that, because I want to get back, because I know a lot of people who are listening, because my mom is dealing with a brain tumor, and a lot of people who are listening have called in with their stories of cancer. And one woman who listens to the show just got melanoma yesterday. Are you saying that with these breathing practices, all of these things will be activated in the body that will go help stimulate the mitochondria, that will stimulate the healing?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. This is absolutely one of the biggest pillars of this is the breathing.
Can you teach
oxygen.
us how to do it?
Yeah, sure. Well, yeah, it's for free on my website.
Okay.
You get all the basics, and you get all the scientific endorsement behind it. Also read about Steve Curtis's book, how he healed from stage 4 cancer. He came in 2007 to me, and we did it here, very near on Malibu. A workshop I did together with her, and he came to me personally, and he had stage 4 cancer, skin cancer, very aggressive and all. He had only a couple of months to live. So he was told by the doctors, that's it, 4 months, 5 months, that's it. He was a very successful, good-looking man, all American. He's got it all, but he's got cancer. You got nothing.
Yeah.
And where is that control? What do you do then? No. Then he took it up. I told him, listen, there is more than meets the eye, and I've shown it, and there is a lot more. So what they tell is from the books. It's not from, they didn't experience this. It's piled up. It's a power system going on, and don't confuse yourself. Cancer needs an acidic environment. Simple. And what we do is bring in more oxygen in the tissue, in the lymphatic system. Thus, you change the chemistry. And there is more. Food should be alkaline as well. So and you believe the neurology should be there completely. That you are able to tap into the deepest of the physiology. Make the change as a plumber does with constipation at home. Don't make it too far away. Don't make it too difficult. It is a non-sentimental phenomena from nature. If you are not present, something will take over.
Yeah.
If you go back, then you are able to remove it. We got the tools. Nature is telling us if we don't listen, then it looks aggressive, and we got a lot of sentimentality around it, but actually we got the tools to take it away. And I want more science behind it. But Steve Curtis, he wrote a book about it, and he is still living, and he's completely sane. And
How long has he been?
Like 10 years ago now.
Wow.
Instead of 4 months to live. And then he went back to the doctors. They don't listen. They don't listen. They are in the system, in the power infrastructure, whatever it is. They don't want to waver from their beliefs. And I tell you, it's time for new beliefs.
Well, because they say unless it's scientifically proven, we can't get behind it.
Yes.
Right. So anytime I bring up to my mom's oncologist these other techniques, these other things, I mean, even just changing her diet, they were like, don't bother. We see you families always starving these patients of sugar. It doesn't make any sense. And they're like, there are no studies. This is their quote all the time. There are no studies to prove that. So they need studies to prove any of this before they'll believe it.
Now, once again, I want to challenge anybody in this community who is listening right now to help me, because it's not about money. This is about nature coming to sense. And I want to go through science to sense again. Make it simple. We got the tools. If we got the tools to make skin temperature not going down just by using the mind, it's not a trick. I can teach these things anybody. And then you are not only talking about aggressive, say, ice cold. Could be heat. It could be stress. It could be bacills, bacteria, viruses, cancer, anything. That's my belief, but I showed a whole lot already. But still, I want to validate it through science.
Mm-hmm.
Help us do these scientific
How do they help you?
Research.
Because I know everyone already wants to. How do they help you? What do they do?
I'm doing right now with, for example, with the Michigan, Wayne State University Neuroscience Department. With them, I do this study, and they are applying for a grant.
If we go to your website, can we get information?
No, this is so direct. Only yesterday I received a mail with all the data and everything that's going on. But just go to my mail.
I will put something up on our website as well
Yes.
to help direct you guys. Guys, you can find him on Twitter and Instagram at Iceman_Hoff. To learn more about his method, visit WIM, Hoff, H-O-F, method.com. We're going to put that up on our website as well. And I'm going to get to the bottom of exactly how you can get behind this and how you can help, because we all want this help. Wim, you are a pleasure. Thank you so much for what you are doing, because you're not just doing it for you, you're doing it for all of us. So thank you for being courageous and for all of your great work. Guys, be nice people, make good choices.